What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to What's That Tech. Today I have got two capture cards here that I've actually been wanting to make this video for a while, but it was going to be for different reasons, for a more obvious card to choose. And upon doing research today, I found out that there's not that many differences, so we're going to talk about that right now. Let's go ahead and switch the cam over and take a look at these two. So we have got the AVerMedia Live Gamer Ultra 2.1 and we've got the Elgato 4K X. Both of these now seems can capture and record 4K 144 Hertz. The only difference primarily that I'm seeing is that the Elgato cannot capture 4K 144 at HDR. It only does 4K 60 HDR from my understanding on the web here. If you all find out any difference there, please let me know in the comments below. The AVerMedia, at first, my thoughts were it can only record, or capture I should say, 4K 60 HDR and pass through 4K 144 HDR. However, after doing research today, it appears that they have done updates to where this now does 4K 144 capture. I cannot find anywhere on AVerMedia's website, however, if it actually does 4K 144 HDR. And I unfortunately don't have enough time right now to get everything set up through OBS to find out if it actually does. So maybe in another updated video later on, I can update you all and let you know. If you know for sure, let me know again in the comments below. Again, my comparison was going to be, hey, I bought this, or we bought this for $230 when it first came out, and Elgato released theirs, which immediately did 144 4K capture right out the gate as soon as it released. And it released about a month or so after the AVerMedia here. And the AVerMedia was at 4K 60, which it seemed like the obvious choice was to get the Elgato. I mean, why not if you're paying close to the same price? I think the prices have fluctuated and whatnot in between the two from then to now, but as of now, they both sit at about $229, I believe, if I remember correctly, $229, $239, something of the sort. So anyway, I'm gonna go into a couple of differences, what there is of differences anyway, here shortly. But first of all, my brother made a video earlier today. I'm gonna go ahead and add his footage in now. He is incorrect on one thing, and I didn't realize that he was incorrect on it until I actually reviewed his video, and I'm like, oh, oops. And you'll see what I'm talking about here shortly. So let's go ahead and go over to Lance's videos, and then we will snap back over to mine.
All right, so Austin wanted me to give a little bit of an opinion about a couple of things concerning our capturing system. So we started out with the AVerMedia Live Gamer Duo, which is a nice card. It has 2 inputs, 1 output, HDMI, and it does 1080, which is great. Problem was, some of us wanted to do 4K stuff. So I figured, hey, it's already got 2 inputs. We were originally going to do a lot of gaming together where there was going to be 2 cameras. And so went ahead and just got the AVerMedia Live Gamer Ultra 2.1, which is this, cute little device. You can get one internally, you can get one externally. My motherboard only has 2 PCI slots, and so I have a video card and the Live Gamer Duo already installed into the computer. So we went ahead and got the external version. Now it works great. It's got the RGB in the front. I don't have it lighting up right now. I don't know if I could. So it's great. It has, it's USB 3. I was connecting it to a Thunderbolt port in the motherboard. Has HDMI in, and that's what allows you to do the capturing to another computer or something like that. And it has HDMI out so that you can do pass-through to your monitor or TV. It has a headset port and a controller port. Again, as just my baseline generic approach, I've never used a controller port, but I have used the headset because we are using a rather weird audio setup involving the Yamaha AG08 and OBS, and it allowed me to figure out how to split tracks and blah 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 so that we can hear ourselves, do the mics without any kind of delay, and also split the channels audible within OBS so that it can all be combined together later at a comfortable level, supposedly. Point is, I've used that when playing like the PS5 because otherwise I can't get it through. And that's important because recently we got the Elgato 4KX. Again, the external version, because I don't have any more PCI slots in the computer for it. This allowed us to keep the HDMI cord short, which really matters when you start using a lot of higher quality stuff, and instead just basically put the load on a USB-C line. And again, you can't stretch it too far. You can't go super long with it. Maybe 3 to 6 feet, and I think even 6 feet's pushing it. So you want to keep it, keep these cables as short as possible to, keep that data transfer going. Important thing about this one already out of the box, just got it about a week ago. There's no audio jack on it. There's no audio jack on it. So I can't kind of manually override. So how that's going to work with trying to record a console, I have no idea. What other differences are there from, a boring non-technical perspective? Just, again, I want to buy it. I want to get it out of the box. I want it to be plug and play. When getting the AVerMedia, you have to install sort of this whole suite of programs, and it's constantly updating. It's constantly changing. And when that happens, it kind of refreshes things. It, bumps it out of the, preferences and the details and the properties, blah, blah, blah. So you have to go and reset things. But it also does allow you to have a lot of control over, is it going to be 4K? Is it going to be 2K? Is it going to be 1080? What is this trying to capture? It has the DCMA override in it, in the settings and everything. So I felt like, even though I don't understand any of it, that the software gave me a lot of control over this, the AVerMedia. I took the Elgato straight out of the box, plugged it in, got the monitor set back to 4K, and instead. Here's a question, Windows. Why do you automatically want to do the scaling to 300% when something is plugged in? And then there's so many apps, programs, and Windows that if your screen, your resolution and all that, and your personalization is at 300%, you literally can't scroll or view everything that's in a window. That's a problem. So anyways, after I got everything set back down to like 150%, which allows things to be tolerable, it worked pretty well. I went and installed what looked like to be, again, dumb guy approach, just trying to get everything to work. I went to the Elgato website, downloaded the first thing that looked like it was applicable to this, seemed to install some drivers, reset some things on this. I had to set the settings back. Haven't had too much of a problem since then. Now, a couple reasons why this has come up is because we have experienced glitches with this. Every once in a while, there'll be pixelation on the screen. You'll get some weird colors and breakdowns and everything. And what's interesting is when that's happening, or for that matter, if you get a full screen blackout for a second or two, you can reach out, touch this thing, and it is hot. So one of the hopes was this wouldn't get hot. However, I just played a game earlier today, and it was not the latest, greatest graphic card breaking kind of game, and I still experienced a blackout. I reached out, grabbed this, and it was pretty warm to the touch. And Austin, in his infinite wisdom, keeps putting it on things like cloth and super close to the exhaust vents of his 4K TV and his computer with the whole i9 13th gen and the 4090 processor venting directly onto it. So as far as both of these go, from my perspective, if you're looking for control, like you need to get into settings and mess with a lot of things, plus you need to have like an analog audio jack, Okay, there's the AVerMedia. Plus, it's got its fancy RGB, which I'm not a big RGB person, so actually I find it annoying. If you need something that can just come out of the box, plug and play straight away, there's the Elgato. And as far as I know of, as far as capabilities go, the only real difference is, I believe, that the AVerMedia, and Austin can put some corrective notes up when he checks the specs and details to see if I'm wrong, but I believe this does 4K at 60 FPS capturing. And supposedly the Elgato can capture at up to like 144 hertz, or so like 120 FPS or more. Again, with my experience in trying to record using a NVIDIA 3070 card, you're pushing things if you're trying to both play a game at its max settings and record it at its max settings too. If someone knows how to do that more smoothly, hey, I'm all ears. I'd love to know about it. But as of right now, I've been loving the AVerMedia. The Live Gamer Duo card, which is an internal card, max 1080. Hey, it's great. I've had no problems with it. Love it to death. And I'm not going to get rid of it because it's great for cameras if you're just going to put, a camera up in a little corner of the screen or something, playing a game or whatnot. This card, it's been a little bit more difficult. It's also like literally 4 times as much data, at least, that it's trying to pass through. And it's trying to pass it through and, record it and send it to another computer at the same time. And so far, my experiences with this have been pretty much the same because we haven't yet been able to surpass certain capturing levels. So both good cards. I like AVerMedia. I like Elgato. And I would say both can work for a person. It's just going to be whatever your level of technical knowledge and experience and needs are in the end to see which one kind of works best for you. I think you need to be a little bit more knowledgeable if you want to take full advantage of the AVerMedia, and if you just need something quick, plug and play, plus you can actually take the max potential of the extra frames per second and stuff, get the Elgato 4KX. So that's my 2 cents. That's my everyday guy just trying to get something to work out of the box, plug and play opinion.
All right, so now that you've seen what Lance had to say, this is what I noticed. So my first initial thought was, okay, you're getting the AVerMedia and you're getting 4K 60, right? That was our initial thought. And you're getting the Elgato and it's 4K 144. My thought was a trade-off of having an analog audio port on the AVerMedia versus not having one on the Elgato. And obviously, if you watched the video, I'm actually surprised Lance didn't catch this, but it seems that the 4KX has analog audio capture right there in the front of it. He even showed the front of the card, so I'm really surprised. I don't know if he thought this was an LED light or something at first. So it's kind of interesting that neither one of us actually seen that at first. So yeah, they both do their thing. I believe the only reason why you should choose the AVerMedia over the Elgato, and I'm not saying one's better than the other. They both have their values, okay? But the AVerMedia does have this extra game audio port, and that's for if you have pretty much a PS5 controller, okay? Xbox controllers do not have any audio output on them like the PS5 does. The PS5 controllers have got that extra speaker on them to where you have your game chat and your extra your in-game game chat and then your regular voice chat game chat. So that's, I'm assuming, what this part on the AVerMedia is for. Obviously this is your analog audio, and then you have your USB 3, your out and your in ports for your HDMI. So if you need to have your PS5, for instance, your PS5 controller plugged up for this audio port to work, then that would be the only reason to choose necessarily the AVerMedia over the Elgato unless you just want the aesthetics of the RGB. Unlike Lance, I do enjoy RGB, so I mean, that's just a cool thing for us, for me anyway. But honestly, the way that we have it set up on the wall, because I actually mount this on the wall, it's facing straight up. So when I'm looking at it, you know, at the angle that you all see it right now. My cords go up into it on the wall, and then this, I can't even see the RGB. So with that being said, which one should you choose? It really doesn't matter between the two. If you have a PS5, that's the only reason why I would choose this, is if you need that audio port. He did mention the heat and stuff like that, and that was one reason why we did choose to get the Elgato last week, was because we were hoping that the Elgato might not overheat or get too hot and give us blacked out screens. Now, of course, he did say that he played that rather non-intensive game for a while, for a short time anyway today, and it still blacked out on him, and it didn't get too hot. He said it got warm, pretty warm, but not as hot as the AVerMedia has gotten. And bear in mind, they are not getting hot because of being used. They are getting hot because I have got a fully water-cooled PC right now with a 4090. He called it a CPU. He must have been tired. He did have a long day. But the 4090 GPU, and I've got the 13900KF CPU processor from Intel. Both of them have water blocks. Both of them are connected to radiators. There's two radiators in my computer. One radiator is blowing straight up under the desk, and I guess it's part of the air is kind of going behind the desk to the wall, and the other one's blowing straight out towards the wall. Both of them, I mean, heat rises, so it's going to rise up. And the AVerMedia and Elgato, we have them on a bracket on the wall that's right behind where the computer sits. So that is why they get hot. When I have it all vented out of the system and going out the window over here, it's an extravagant setup. If I haven't shown that in a video before, let me know if you want to see it, and I'll show you the setup we have. But we've got these things where they're venting out the window. I changed my case recently, so we have to remodify the it's a platform that it was sitting on, but I'm gonna have to remodify it to where it can be a lid instead, and then find something for the side of the case as well to vent out. But when we had those venting out, we had absolutely no glitching. We had no blackouts, nothing like that, because the cards weren't getting hot. But now that I've taken that away because of the new case, unfortunately, we had that happen. Sorry, there's a hair on my microphone here. Anyway, with that being said, if you're worrying about overheating issues, as long as you're not shooting heat straight out at these cards, you won't have any issues at all. They are both fantastic cards. Both work just fine. They both do exactly what they're supposed to do. The only thing that I do not know currently about is if the AVerMedia captures 4K 144 HDR. My TV, I use an LG a C3, LG C3 42-inch OLED TV for my monitor, because I can't get away from OLED, and currently there's no gaming monitor that is 4K OLED 42-inch. I don't want to shrink down to a 32. I love the size of this thing. It's beautiful. So anyway, those are the main differences. AVerMedia has your game audio, your controller audio input for capture there, and it has RGB. If you don't need either one of those, then either one of these two capture cards should do you just fine. So I hope this video helps. I'm sorry if you're looking for an answer on 4K capture on HDR at 144. If you're looking for that answer, I do apologize. I'll try to do some more DD later on. Sorry, I'm like all over the place trying to find dust and stuff off my desk and off my microphone, so sorry about that. A little unprofessional, but yeah, it is what it is. But I'm gonna quit chattering on, whatever, and let y'all go. Hope y'all enjoyed this. If you do, leave a like down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We are trying to build up this channel and see where it goes. And if you're interested at all in the new RTX 5090, I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I'm going to do my best to get a hold of that card on day one. And if I do, Lance will be getting the 4090. So if y'all seen my water-cooled video on the 4090, then you know all about that plan. And yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.